Hey everybody, it's Fox with FoxeoGames, and this is a Fox First Scent of Omega Strike on the PC, available on Steam. I believe it's available right now. I actually received a free review copy of the game, so I didn't go on Steam to see if it's out yet, but I'm assuming that it is. It is not available on any other platforms that I'm aware of. I did a quick search online to see, and it does say it's only available on Steam on the homepage. So as you can see from looking at it, this is a run and gun, but the cool thing here is that you switch between 3 characters. Each one has a different weapon, and each one has their own unique abilities. Like one character can double jump while the others can't. Another character can push rocks. So that's really cool. That adds a lot of variety to the game, because you're not just switching them out for the combat benefits, you're also switching them out for certain scenarios where you need them to access certain different areas and whatnot. You'll notice here that I tend to favor the soldier character because that's my favorite weapon among the 3. It is clearly the one that you're meant to use most often. And later in this little segment, you'll see that they actually take away the other 2 characters temporarily and force you to use this main character here. Interesting thing about the game, when you kill an enemy, it kind of blows up, and then you can destroy a piece of it that goes flying into the air. And if you manage to destroy that piece, you also get a second chance at like a gold drop or money drop or a health drop or something of that sort. So there's actually a benefit to trying to hit that body part flying through the air. It does not have borderless full screen mode, unfortunately. If you put it into windowed mode at 1920 by 1080 resolution and you try to force borderless full screen with an external third-party application, it doesn't quite fit. You see the title bar, so that sucks. Some of you won't know what I'm talking about, but if you have dual monitors, it's always nice to be able to play borderless full screen on one monitor and still have access to your second monitor without alt-tabbing. There are very few graphics options, but that's really to be expected. I mean, this is a 2D game, and as you can tell, it's that, modern, retro-esque style art. Smooth scrolling, super smooth scrolling, and speaking of smooth, the controls in this game are excellent, super tight, spot on. The only complaint I have is that you cannot shoot down while jumping or falling, so that's a bummer. Performance is excellent, as you would expect, obviously, plays at 60 frames per second. You cannot shoot while jumping down, like I just said. That is kind of a bummer. I found myself constantly trying to do that, and if you notice I jump on top of an enemy, it's not because I thought this was Mario. It's because I was trying to shoot down and couldn't remember in that moment that you can't actually do that. It has some pretty awesome music and sound effects as well, so you can hear the music in the background a little bit here. Sound effects are really cool. The shooting of the gun does get a little repetitive, but it sounds alright. It's not annoying or anything of that sort. It has semi-Metroid style exploration. Some people falsely refer to this format as Metroidvania. I take issue with that because in order for something to be a Metroidvania, it must first be a Castlevania. The term Metroidvania was literally created to refer to a Castlevania game that was structured like Metroid, which I do believe began with Symphony of the Night. So when people refer to non-Castlevania games as Metroidvania, it makes no sense. You just would refer to it as Metroid-esque or like Metroid, because the Vania part means it's Castlevania, and the Metroid part means it's like Metroid. So what would be the point of calling a non-Castlevania game Metroidvania? It has no connection to Castlevania, just to Metroid. So I hope I've clarified that for you guys. So if you were using it incorrectly, like a lot of people are, you can correct that. Well, that's most of what I wanted to actually say about the game. I did really enjoy my time with it. I spent a little over 20 minutes playing through and got all the way to this boss of the first area. As you notice here, this guy pops up and actually takes away the other 2 characters, so you can't switch between them. Do note, however, that switching between the characters does not give you more health. It doesn't transfer you over to another health pool. You share the health among the 3 different characters. So that's actually the way I'd prefer it, because otherwise what you'd end up doing is basically having yourself get limited to only using the character that has decent health. Like if you got a character that goes almost all the way down on their health, you'll just quit using that character so you don't die. And obviously you need at least 2 of the characters. I'm not sure what the soldier's special move is yet. I haven't seen it, or if he's just the most well-rounded. But certainly if you had a character die that had a special move that you needed, you couldn't progress. So I think they did the right thing by keeping it all in one health pool. Now this boss right here was okay, but you'll notice that he does get pretty darn repetitive. He did that jump stomp like over and over and over again. I felt like that got a bit excessive, but he started to shake it up at the end there a little bit, vary it up just a bit. I did not find the game too difficult. I imagine it probably gets harder as you go farther into the game. That's usually how it works, although not always. Sometimes games start out hard, get easier, then get harder, and who knows. But that's as far as I made it. I went back and actually saved it after progressing just a little bit here. But this is Omega Strike on the PC. Like I said, I got a free review copy of it, and I definitely enjoyed the little bit of time I spent with it. Don't know if I'll have time to get back to it with all the other games that are sitting on my waiting list to be played, like literally more than 100 that I want to, try to get through. So who knows what'll happen. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames, and I will see you guys next time. Later, everybody.